Ni hao ma, Shanghai. Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here. So let me introduce a little bit myself. My name is Michal Geci. I'm head of innovations and ventures from DCore company. I will talk today about the future of digital asset distribution because this is exactly the use case or the first use case our company has been focused on for a couple of years. So first of all, I want to apologize on behalf of our founder, Michal, who didn't show up today because he had other duties and he had to fly to Beijing, but he's saying hello to all of you. And hopefully you will have a chance to also meet him in the future because he's quite often in China. So a little bit to tell you about the history of our company. First of all, Michal, the founder of DCore Group, he is already in the Bitcoin ecosystem for many years. He started in 2011. And he was CEO and founder of different companies who were one of the first to organize Bitcoin conferences. He did the first, by the way, Bitcoin Expo China conference in 2014, and for example, also Bitcoin Expo in London, UK in 2015. And he's very, very deep into the topic. He started in Switzerland. That's why you see also his picture directly from the Swiss railway station in the Switzerland, showing the vending machine for the tickets. Because in Switzerland was one of the first countries where you can use this ticketing machine to buy or to sell bitcoins already a couple of years ago. I will tell a little bit also about the DCore Group. So we are a truly international company based at headquartered, or let's say led by DCore Foundation in Switzerland. We have also the main R&D hub in Slovakia because Matej, me too, we are coming from Slovakia, Central Europe. But we have a strong presence in China, more than 1,000 people working directly here in Shanghai, in Pudong. Also an office in US, then for another project I'll be talking about later on, Alex project. We set up our location also in Hong Kong, and our team is growing and also expanding internationally to Asia and to US. So today I will speak about digital content distribution. So what's the problem? Today, if you are a content author, you need to split your profits with the distribution networks. Sometimes it's really huge numbers. If you look at the numbers, which is not really well formatted here, but I apologize. Normally, it's up to between 30% up to 60% you need to give out to distributor. So for example, to Amazon, to Google, to Apple. It is a huge problem. So how we are trying to solve it? Of course, we want to cut the man in the middle. Therefore, we want to ensure that authors upload directly the content, which could be, for example, music, video, ebooks, directly to our platform, which is based on the blockchain. And the consumers, they can access directly the content, paying for content, get rewards also in token, digital token. So, how does it work? Just to be much more specific, we, as you can see, have built our blockchain technology in the way that we are not storing the content on the blockchain, but we ensure that the content is still present in content distribution network servers, but we encrypt it. And the users, so I mean both the authors and consumers, then they have a private keys to access this content after paying with the tokens. If you see, or I can talk something about parameters of our blockchain technology. So first of all, we are the open source technology, permissionless, the public, with a general purpose. And we did also some comparison with the Bitcoin blockchain technology and Ethereum. So we work with a delegated proof of stake consensus model. Right now, our network consists of more than 33 supernodes. We are extending all around the world. Other important fact that is pretty fast, I think comparing to these two most famous blockchain technologies, because based on our last benchmarks from February this year, we have been able to do more than 2,000 plus transactions per second. And in terms of issuing the blocks, we are issuing or generating the blocks every 5 seconds. So, as I mentioned, our core blockchain technology is called DCore. You can find more information on this web address, dcore.dcent.ch. There are also a couple of use cases what we have developed, so you can see exactly potential application, what you can do relying on our blockchain technology. There are different components. One of the components you can see here is a crowdfunding component. How does it work? I mentioned that, for example, you can use our blockchain technology to distribute the music. So imagine that you are the musical group, you upload your song to our platform. Then, thanks to one of the features of crowdfunding, which allows you, for example, automatic revenue splitting, you can set up the smart contract in the way that, for example, if there is a collection of the fees from consumers directly, that a part of the fees go directly to singer, part of the fees goes directly to guitarist or drummer. So, DCore technology, as it is for now, allows you to do many things. As I mentioned already, for example, it incorporates audio streaming interface, it incorporates also video streaming interface. We have a digital content crowdfunding interface to allow you the advertising. Also, of course, we allow the future of reputation management. So the users of the fan club, for example, they can provide the rankings of different digital assets. We have a miner voting interface, which is mainly related to the community. So especially community, we try to involve them also to decide about the future strategy and direction of the company. There is a data management interface and much more other to come. As I mentioned, we have, our blockchain technology is pretty modular and very flexible, so according to specific use cases, we can customize it and combine. So we have different models, like I mentioned some of them before. On top of them, of course, we are still incorporating the new features, like for example, instant messaging, the fiat pricing, which is very interesting, and other. We have developed already 1.5 years ago the first demo, which was called DCore Go, which was a real fully functional working showcase of our technology, where we demonstrated, for example, how to upload different type of digital assets with different parameters, which you can have under control. As you can see, this is the view from the content author. And this is also the view from the consumer point of view. So, speaking about digital asset distribution, we launched a couple of months ago another project which is called Alex. I will talk in details in the further slides. Alex is a joint venture between DCore Group and Dragonfly from China. And what we are solving with this project, we are solving, first of all, the issue how to distribute the mobile games to the markets where, for example, users have no access to bank accounts or credit cards. We are speaking especially here about Southeast Asia. So we wanted to solve this problem just to create dedicated app store for distributing mobile games, which will be relying on our tokens. Which of course can be a win-win situation both for the game publishers because first of all they are not obliged to wait 6 months to the settlement of the payments because they will get immediately the payment for their content. And for the users it will be also very, very convenient because again here the problem is that many in the middle, which normally are the distribution, again Apple, Google, other players, they are eating up to 70% of profits in these countries. So we try to really make it much more convenient. So this allows also for consumers to get better prices for the content, for the games. And last but not least, we can then use also these tokens for other purposes, because already for this project we did many memorandum of understandings with the big retail store networks in Southeast Asia. So really the people will have very easy access to the way to buy the tokens. So this Alex project, as I mentioned, started already a couple of months ago. A couple of weeks, I think it was in the middle of April, we successfully finished ICO. It's in Chinese, so you can have some basic information. If you are interested in this project, just have a look on the website, www.alex.io. And just here, I just use one slide to show you the roadmap of the project. Now we are after the TG, token generation events. In March, we already showed the first MVP, minimum viable product. Currently, we are developing the testnet demo, which should be ready in 2 months' time. And in September, probably we will launch the first beta of the App Store. And we forecast to have a fully functional Alex Store in the Q1 in 2019. As I mentioned to you, we have launched the Decent blockchain last year in June in the mainnet, and this year in February we successfully launched the testnet. So we are fully open and ready to welcome other parties who are interested to develop their, let's say, end-to-end applications, especially focusing on digital content distribution, but not only that, because as I mentioned before, we are generic purpose blockchain. So you can find more information about our existing API also on the GitHub. Also on the website, what I mentioned before is DCore.decent.ch. You can find the SDK and documentation. We have now ready SDK for web, but it's in preparation also SDK for Android. Should be ready during the summer, and then by end of this year, we'll have ready also SDK for iOS. So I think that's mainly all from my side. I want just to mention that we are now in a couple of weeks also preparing to launch the global blockchain hackathon, which will be organized in 5 locations across 3 continents around the planet. And by the way, one of the locations will be also in China, probably Shanghai or Hong Kong. So we're very happy to welcome you as the developers, because there'll be very attractive prices. And by the way, we also want to identify the nice projects and potential ventures to use the DCore technology, where we can also invest in the future. So that's mainly it from myself. I think I'm very happy then to get some questions from you during the break, so feel free to reach me out. And I have also my colleagues from Chinese team here, so they'll be very happy then to connect with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm pretty sure a lot of developers will have a lot of questions for you later on, so please go ahead and you know where to find him to ask those questions. Okay.